Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So a few days I posted the Trine bracelet and you loved it. I'm so thrilled. And I told you we would have a pendant and the chain coming up. So we're going to do the chain today. So if you want to do the pendant, I'm going to link this video, the Trine bracelet, first thing on the description, in the description box below this video. I'll put a link to this bracelet, and the first, several minutes are doing this whole three stone unit here. So you'll get that done, come back, I'll show you how to put on the herringbone bail, and I'll show you how to do this cool chain. So this is a cool sort of spiral, like a 2-bead spiral, and it looks so difficult, but after a little practice, it really is easy. You just have to have faith in that it's going to come out right, because it's one of those stitches that kind of looks like a jumbled mess, kind of like craw, until you get a little bit of it made, and then you'll go, oh yeah, that's right, that looks great. Okay, so I'm going to clear this off, get a materials list going, and we'll get started. So please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and if you ring that little bell down there, you'll just get notified every time I upload a video. Not tons of emails or anything, you just when I upload, you'll know. All right, so I'm gonna get a materials list. Okay, you're gonna need some 11/0 seed beads. I'm gonna use a matte color, but you can use the beautiful metallic if you want a metallic looking chain like this. Size 10 beading needle. I've got a little stop bead. I've got this a bead cap here where, because it's round, I put the caps at the end, but you don't have to do that. But just in case you want, I'll put a link to these. I think I got them on Amazon. And if you notice, one's sort of really gold color and one's sort of more dark. These are the same. I just took a little nail buffer, the real fine grit side, and I just take this guy, hold it with my pliers, and I just give it a brush all the way around, and it made it the color I wanted it, because these were too dark for this particular project. I think you can do that with any class. I mean, you want to do it with a fancy $20 class, but with these little caps that are over oxidized, I think you can do that. Did I say stop bead? Here are some E6000 for you to glue it in if you like. And I have, which I forgot to put out, a lobster claw and a ring right here. So that's really everything. So don't forget to look in the description box below the video for the video on the bracelet so that you can make this unit so you can attach it to your pretty chain. All right, so I'm going to pull this off and we'll get started. Okay, let's get started. So I switched to an 8/0 just because I thought it would be easier for you to follow. And I just wanted to answer a question that a comment that somebody made in the video where I showcased this scissor. They asked me if it was sharp. So I'll show you how I can tell if it's really sharp. Can I cut the tip of this thread, the very tip? To me, if it's not sharp, it's going to mash that tip. And look at those little tiny pieces I cut off. So it's a regular, really sharp scissor. It's an embroidery scissor. But it just happens to have a decorative handle. So if you're into that, I think they're really cool. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to thread my needle with, a decent amount of thread. If you're actually making the necklace with 11/0s, you might put on as much as you can comfortably sew with. I have a stop bead with a tail. I picked up and dropped down to my stop bead 4 of my 8/0s. If you're using 11/0s, you'll put your 11/0s on. And I'm just going to sew up through the beads to make a unit. So I'll just go through the first 2 at the moment from the stop bead. Pop those into a unit, and I'm going to go all the way around again. Past the stop bead. You can even tie a knot with your tail and your working thread, because you want a nice tight unit as your first unit. Okay, so this is what I have, and this is how I want you to situate your first unit. You've got these 4 beads. The top bead has the thread coming out of the right, just like that. I'm not worried about the tail thread, but you just want your thread coming out of the top. Do the right. Okay, so let's add some beads on. So I'm going to pick up 2. My thread is exiting this top bead coming out of the right. So all I'm going to do is sew through the previous bead from the bottom up. And I'm just going to then a little pull. And that puts another face on. I know it looks confusing. We'll do it a bunch of times. Okay, pick up 2, exiting here. Just going to sew through the previous bead from the bottom up. Make sure they pop on top of the previous beads. And remember, it's a spiral, so it's going to twist around. This is what we have. Do it again. Pick up 2, exiting here. Just going to sew through the previous bead from the bottom up. I'll try not to put my thumb on it now. And then just pull that guy into place. So you see how that's making another unit right there? You put your thumb on it and pull. So just like that. It's very clumsy at first, but you'll get it. Pick up 2. Exiting this top one, sew through the previous one from the bottom up. I'll move my thumb in a second. See how it happens when I pull? I get another unit right there. And you have to trust the process, because it looks like a big jumbled mess like cubic right angle weave, but it comes out really nice after a while. So here, exiting here. So through the previous one. Give that a little pull into place. Make sure it pops up at the top. See that? And now you have another unit on. So that's it. That's all you're going to do. So play with that a little bit. Here, I'll do another one. Pick up 2. And don't worry if it drops out of your hand. You'll find the face again. Your unit is always going to have the thread coming out of the top bead, like that. So go through the previous one from the bottom up. And see what happens when I pull. I get another unit on. And again, it's a spiral, so it's going to be going around and around. Do it again. Exiting here, sew through the previous bead from the bottom up. Give it a little pull, make sure it's going on top of the previous beads. See that? Now you have another unit on. I'll do it again. Exiting here, sew through the previous bead. From the bottom up, and now you have another unit on. So that's what you're going to do all the way around. See, and it's starting to spiral? Have faith. It is. It's starting to spiral. It doesn't look like it. So play with that. Just keep practicing. It took me forever. I threw it across my room a couple of times because I couldn't get it. But then once it clicks, you'll see how easy it is. It's just have faith in your ability that you can do this. All right, so get your length on, play, and then come back, and I think I'll just talk you through putting the end caps on, and we'll continue. Okay, so let's put on the bail, and look at the color of that stone. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful. I'll link that down below. So here, I'm going to hold my piece this way, and I'm going to find a couple of delicas in the back here. So you see this one and this one, this one and this one. I'm going to sew through this one right here. So those are going to be my attachment points here and here, and here and here. So I'm just going to put my thread through. So I'm using a couple of feet of thread here. Stop bead, make sure you have enough tail to sew in. Now I'm going to pick up 4 of my 11 seed beads, and I'm going to use a contrasting color so you can see everything. So I'm exiting this guy. I'm just going to sew through this one. So it's the same bead, only on the other side of the point there. And when I pull, do you see how that puts those beads like right centered on the top? This is what you want. And I'm just going to turn my thread around so I can start adding herringbone. So I'm exiting right here. I'm going to sew through this guy. So that's the one on the diagonal. And then I'm going to sew up through the one next to it, so reversing direction. And then through the delica that my 11-ohs are coming out of. Like that. And then up 2 of the 11-ohs. Like that. I think I have to back off because I am kind of getting a little blurry. So 2 of the 11-ohs, just like that. So this is your setup for putting on your herringbone. Now we're going to do some herringbone. And it might be helpful, or it would be very helpful if you sew your tail thread in because it will loosen up. I'll just hold it in the back for the moment. All right, so we're just going to do a little herringbone till we get a bail. So picking up 2 of my beads, I'm exiting here. Just going to sew through. Next one. And I'm going to make sure it sits like a herringbone stitch. Like that. And then I'm just going to sew back up through these 2. Like so. Pick up 2. Down 1. Up 2. And just see it's loosening up a little bit because I didn't sew my tail thread in. So just sew the tail thread in, it'll be so easy. Down. So pick up 2. Down 1. Up 2. That's the whole thing. So you're going to keep doing that until you have a nice size bail. You want to make it big enough, the opening big enough so you can get this chain through. So instead of giving you a number, just take your chain and, as you're making this, just wrap it around your chain and just make sure that you'll be able to connect it and the chain will be able to slide through the bail. Okay, so I'm just going to go off camera. I'm going to complete the bail, and then I'll show you how to sew it to the other side. Okay, so I have my length done. Now I'm just going to connect. So I'm going to turn it to the back. I'm going to pick up one of my 11-ohs, and I'm going to find that bead that's right under the one I started my connection at. So here is the one where my herringbone's coming out of. I'm just going to go under it and sew through the delica right under that connection bead. Just make sure that it doesn't twist. There we go. So that's what it looks like. And then you want to pop over to the one on the other side. So here's where I started my herringbone. I'm just going to pop through the one right underneath it. Like that. I know it was weird at the moment. And then I'm going to pick up an 11-oh. I'm going to sew up through the other side of the bail right here. So I've just gone up a few beads. And when I pull, do you see how that connects it just perfectly? Now you want to reinforce this, so just go down through this guy again, go over through this one, up again, and do it until it's nice and secure, and then you have your bail. So there you go. Let's pull out. We'll end everything here. So here we'll put the nice side up. So here's the chain with the pendant on it, and you could probably do the pendant this way as well. Maybe put 3 little bails on. I don't know. You could play with that if you want it to go horizontally. So that here you go. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it works out for you. This is such a great chain to try. I don't know who sort of created that stitch, but it looks so pretty as a chain, and it's round so it doesn't flip or anything. I just want to give you a little preview of what's coming up. So we're going to do this pendant, and I'm going to use the chatons from the collection. I'm telling you, you're going to use every bead from your collection if you have your collection, if you haven't used them already, but you don't need the collection, obviously. So I'll be doing these in the I think I have it, it's in Capri Blue, and we'll put a pearl in the middle, a big pearl in the middle. And I thought that this would be a really pretty pendant for the fall and winter. And I thought maybe this chain would look gorgeous on that as well, or a ribbon, whichever one you like. All right, so stay tuned for that video coming up soon. All right, so I want to thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.